right, welcome in. It's a Tuesday edition of the Sports Huddle on SEMO ESPN Radio from the Yuengling Sports Huddle Studios. Yuengling, the iconic American lager, America's oldest brewery. Yuengling. Eric Shawn, the lead singer of the Mike Rennick Band, in studio, inviting you to join us here in the Huddle. Our EBOMD Huddle hotline number, 573-334-1220. 573-334-1220. The Huddle hotline is powered by EBOMD. Football season right around the corner. SEMO starts camp tomorrow. And with that in mind, we've got football coach Tom Matukowicz going to join us in about, I would say 15 minutes from right now. Mike Rennick, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Fantastic.
Good. Yeah, it's exciting to hear from Coach Tuke. Get a chance to, I know once camp starts, it's like
there's no chance.
There's no chance. Schedule is locked in, and that's about it. So they'll get a bit of a. I mean, I'm sure he has been used to hot camps before, but I think the weather's supposed to break a little bit later in the week.
It is.
Be in the 80s, maybe, not the smoldering 90s. So maybe that'll be a nice.
What are we like? 115 heat index today?
Feel like temp. It's just. It's not good. It's not good. But a little rain shower tomorrow will hopefully cool things down for the next few days.
All right. Football season just around the corner. The countdown, 32 days, 11 hours, 54 minutes till kickoff at Arkansas State.
32 days.
32.
That doesn't seem like very long. That'll be here fast. And then that week 0 game will happen the week prior to that game that SEMO played in last year. The week prior.
There usually is week 0. I don't know. SEMO's not involved, so I really haven't researched
exactly what it is. But point is, it'll be here quick. Football will. Before you know it, it'll be the random preseason NFL game as well. So. Turn the corner out of July, and things get moving quick.
And my flight down to Florida for the Babe Ruth World Series Friday morning from Cape Regional, and you told me be prepared for delays.
Well, you just never know. I mean, I think that's you got to be prepared no matter where you're flying. You know, you gotta have that. Try to have a little bit of a calmness about the travel times.
I haven't flown commercial in a while. The last few times that I've flown, we have chartered a flight. It's with SEMO.
Yeah.
Whether
pretty
it's
slick.
Football or basketball.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Get in and go.
Man, I have been through airport security with a football team. It takes a minute.
Yeah, I bet it does.
It takes a little bit. So we'll be talking about that. And the Redhawks will get on a flight. September 13th is their game at North Dakota State. So I'm guessing they'll leave that Friday. I don't know. They may leave Thursday. Really don't know. I haven't seen any travel itinerary, but I know they will not be flying to Jonesboro, Arkansas. 2.5-hour drive, hop and a skip and a hop.
Be in the bus and be on the way.
All right. So we'll talk football here briefly. Coming up with Coach Tuke. We are approaching the Major League Baseball trade deadline. Cardinals are still in it, talking about the wild card race. And 3.5 out. Stranger things have happened. They beat a very hot Miami Marlins team last night and beat them easily. And man, oh man, just when you think Andre Palante is trending downward, he has been a loser in his last 4 decisions. 1 hit over 7 innings last night. He was great.
Yeah, I think that was a huge outing for him. Got a nice outing out of Michaelis his last time out.
Yeah.
Palante, 2 names that have been on the scuffle list. One of those names that was on that list is no longer a St. Louis Cardinal, which I'm sure we'll talk about at some point. But that was a big outing. Needed that, especially coming off of a Yeah, kind of a lackluster way to end the Padres series. I know many were kind of thinking, McGreevy would kind of be the savior of the rotation, calm those thoughts, because he's not going to be. And he got rocked. He got knocked around pretty good on Sunday.
7 earned and 4 2/3, 9 hits against McGreevy.
Yeah, but so needed that Palante start yesterday in a big way. As you said, Miami was playing well. They were only I think going into that game, they were 6.5 out of a wild card spot. So they had really made a big push since June, I think, or so.
19-9 in their last 28.
Yeah, so
they've won 4 series in a row, including Brewers.
Yeah, that's big. Who just beat the Cubs last night?
Pounded the Cubs.
Pound.
I mean, I'm watching that game. Cardinals get 3 in the first off of The Miz, which stands for Mizzing Location. He uncorks a wild pitch, Cubs get a run. Then Ian Happ hits a roller out in front of home plate. Mizorowski gets out there, throws it down the right field line, and it's 3-0 Cubs. They're outscored 8-1 the rest of the way. I mean, and they had their best pitcher out there, Matthew Boyd. I mean, he walked the first 2 hitters. He had never done that in any of his starts in the big leagues. And he just didn't have it last night. And the Brewers, so going into that game, side by side, you look at runs scored, Cubs, number 1 in baseball. The Brewers a little further down the list. Home runs, Cubs second, the Brewers 28. But, of course, they out-homer the Cubs 3-0 in the game. And one reason is starting pitching ERA. Cubs rank 14th, the Brewers rank 2nd. They've got better pitchers. And even though Mizorowski could not control what he was doing last night, everybody else for the Brewers did.
So I think what you're summarizing is the Brewers are better than the Cubs.
They could be.
That's kind of what you're saying.
They could be.
They are right now. They are right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
By a game.
Right.
I'm not convinced. Now, the Cubs have put up big offensive numbers. I'm not convinced that this offense is going to continue to roll against good pitching.
Brewers offense, that is.
I'm talking about the Chicago Cubs offense against good pitching.
Right.
I've got to see more. I mean, it seems like when they face pretty good pitching, their offense can be shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And the pitching, I mean, you talk about a team that needs to wheel and deal at the deadline. It's the Cubs. The Brewers go out and make a move. They sign or trade for veteran catcher Danny Jansen. Brewers are already wheeling and dealing. So Jansen, solid player. Obviously, they've got William Contreras as their starting catcher, so we'll see how Jansen fits in. And lots of different rumors going with the trade deadline. Mark Feinsand, baseball writer, saying that there is some interest in Nolan Arenado. However, the Cardinals owe him $42 million. The defensive numbers are good. The offensive numbers are the worst of his career after he got off to a great start. 25 games into the season, he was terrific. Since then, the last 60-plus games, it has not been good for Arenado. So if a team is going to get him and he would agree to the trade, you've got to think Cardinals are going to have to eat some of that money.
Yeah, you would think. I mean, he just looks, I don't even know what the word is. I mean, lazy fly balls to right field. You might say he looks tired. I know it's been hot, but it doesn't look good. That's plain and simple.
He looks like an aging, worn-down player.
He does. Yeah, he really does.
Even though he may not be, it appears that way. Hate to see it. Still got 2 more years on that deal. After the game, though, it was, and keep in mind, it was a 3 RBI game for Mason Wynn. And after the game, Oliver Marmol talked about, obviously, Andre Palante and Mason Wynn.
Did a really nice job with just quick outs. He was very efficient, also got some very defensive swings. A lot of soft contact. To be able to go 7, I feel like he navigated that lineup extremely well. He matched up with them well and did a really nice job. Just a mix of outs. Their attempt to not be on the ground at times, but it was still not a whole lot of barrels. I mean, he did just a nice job of navigating that lineup. I felt like there's more conviction behind what he was doing. Didn't land the slider nearly as much as he did his last outing or the curveball, but still figured out a way to get out. So, but I did like the overall determination, like what he brought to the table today. Even in between going out there, like there's a different look to what he was doing. There's ups and downs to the season, and this is a guy that even when he's not feeling good, wants to post. He's done a nice job of locking in and giving some really quality at-bats, especially after the break. He's an incredible job of just collecting hits, but also like today, man, he hits the triple to clear the bases there. He's, to your point, been very productive. He's going hard. He's getting after it, and he's not at his best right now, which is pretty impressive.
So you're talking about Mason Wynn there, and that was an encouraging sign for Mason Wynn. Bat is kind of slowed down. Nothing wrong with his defense.
Yeah, no, I think so. Another guy that could probably use a break, I think, with Brendan Donovan. He's struggling a little bit, but I think of all the players right now that you got to be just most excited about is Jordan Walker. I know he had another hit last night
and an RBI
double.
He's hit safely in 9 of his last 10 games.
Right. I think he's been in every game. It seems like he's been, like, right field's been his position, which I think as a fan you've been wanting to see. I know that comes with stay healthy and put up some numbers as well, but at least getting a stronger sample size just to see him out there every day and see how he does. And I'd say right now he keeps trending the way he is. That's a good thing for the Cardinals and for him, obviously.
There are reports, multiple reports, that the Dodgers have been all over John Mozeliak, interested in Brendan Donovan.
Can I tell you something interesting?
Yes.
I was at the game Sunday.
Okay.
And
that is interesting.
Yeah, and it was smoking hot out there,
to say the least.
So it was the last 2 innings. I think Donovan had been pulled, and Ollie Marmol. Typically Ollie is on the home plate side of the dugout entrance.
Right.
He was on the first base. He had moved to the first base side, and it was just him and Donovan talking for 2 straight innings. And I just kept thinking to myself, I mean, they weren't even paying attention to the game. Just paying attention. I kept thinking, I bet he's being traded, or I bet they're talking about strong discussions that he might be on the trade block. I did not know that what you had just said about the Dodgers, though.
What would you think now? He's got 2 more years of control after this year. So he hits free agency in his age 31 season. Is Chaim Bloom going to sign him to an extension at 31? Is he a guy, the Dodgers, you know you're going to get some good prospects back for Brendan Donovan.
Sure.
Would you be willing to move Donovan?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think right now they're all on the table. So
I still say you hold on to Nolan Gorman. I still say you hold on to Jordan Walker.
Well, Mason Wynn, I've said, I guess. That's one that I think, from the Major League roster right now, that Mason Wynn would be one that you'd want to keep.
Unless you think J.J. Weatherholt translates as a Major League shortstop defensively.
Well, I think that's what got my mind going, seeing the Donovan conversation, that they're thinking, well, Weatherholt's going to be our next second baseman. So Donovan becomes expendable.
They just got a good Swiss Army knife type player last year in Tommy Edman.
Right.
Brendan Donovan is a very
guy.
similar ball player. Probably not going to be able to play center field for you like Edmund can.
Yeah.
But he plays all over. He's got a utility Gold Glove.
Yeah, absolutely. He does. On the shelf.
But you hear all kinds of scuttlebutt.
That's right.
That's old school word, right? Scuttlebutt.
It is. I know we got to get to Tuke, but one thing that was interesting about going in Sunday to watch that game, listening to KMOX, Mozeliak's on every morning on Sundays with Tom Ackerman, and the question which has been posed here is what is Heimblum's role in the trade discussions? And he said that he's one of the voices in the room. He said that we've got our team that's meeting obviously very regularly right now, and that he's one of the voices in the room. So it made it sound like, Mozeliak is still running the show when it comes to...
Which is bad news.
I think it is. Yeah, I think it is. Now, he did say, if there's something that I think I need to kind of, talk with him about, elevate to a certain, another status, then I'll do that. But he said he's one of the voices in the room. And Mose is a bigger
I'm not
voice.
saying he's in witness protection like the last general manager. Can you even...
Michael Gersh?
Mr. Gersh. That guy was on the side of a milk carton.
Yeah.
But we don't see Heimblum. He's kind of in mini witness protection.
I sure hope he's doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work.
Oh, he is. He's working on the minor leagues.
Laying the groundwork for when his time comes. But it is odd that he's not visible at all.
At all.
Mo didn't want to let it go. That's pretty obvious.
You want to talk college football?
Yes.
All right. Coach Tom Matukowicz, year 12. Going to join us when we come back. Red Hawk football with Coach Tuke. Sports Huddle. It's the Sports Huddle on SEMO ESPN Radio. 1220 AM, 93.5 FM, and online at SEMOESPN.com. Eric Shawn and Mike Rennick in the Yuengling Sports Huddle studios. Yuengling is the iconic American lager, America's oldest brewery, Yuengling. And we will head to the EBOMD Huddle Hotline where Coach Tom Matukowicz is standing by on the verge of football camp starting. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Excited.
So the day before camp actually opens, take us through what is on the docket here for you and the Red Hawks.
Well, there's just a tremendous amount of information getting processed, lots of meetings, from compliance to getting helmets fixed. President Hodson and Brady Barkey, our athletic director, are going to speak to the team at 3. So there's just a lot of things that you try to get it out of the way so that, starting Wednesday, it can just all be about ball.
And it's also all about these heat indexes, Coach. 115 today. I don't know what it's like the rest of the week. I think we're supposed to get a shower. How big of a challenge is that?
Well, it's how it works, and so we've been working all summer long. You can't avoid it. You actually need to do the opposite. You need to embrace it because acclimation is the key to success. And so these guys have been out there. I've been out there. Coach has been out there, so I don't anticipate that being a problem at all.
So it's going to be year 12 for you. It's 3 OVC titles. It's 4 playoff appearances. It's a playoff win. It's 9 victories under your head coaching over nationally ranked FCS programs. The preseason poll has you slotted in at 3rd. What did you think of the preseason poll, and do you care much about that? Or do your players?
Well, it's interesting. I don't think there's a coach in college football that can accurately predict how they're going to be. The rosters have never been like this. They are changing over, half to almost 3/4 in some programs. And so you don't know. You have an idea about your talent, but until you get it out there, you really don't know. But, the polls are what they are. I would sense that our players probably have a little chip on their shoulder, not from a ranking, but, like I told them, they're a bunch of nobodies. There ain't anybody talking about them. There's nobody on our roster that's grabbing a lot of headlines. And so, that's just kind of added fuel to the fire that hopefully motivates them to have great years.
So you've got some big names to replace on both sides of the football. Nobody more notable than Bryce Norman on the defensive side. Paxton DeLaurent, as accomplished as any SEMO quarterback ever. On the offensive side, let's start on offense. Is it a competition for the starting quarterback job entering camp? Does Jax Leatherwood have a leg up? How does that stand right now as you get ready to to head to camp?
Yeah, he goes into camp as the starter. He won the job in spring. One message that I'll have to the whole team is, we have a really deep roster. Like we're pretty talented in a lot of positions, and so ultimately that competition, we need to embrace it because, if the only thing fair is to make sure that whoever practices well goes out there with the ones the next day. And so, whether it's a quarterback or running backs or whoever, the starter needs to keep earning that throughout fall camp.
So the thing that jumps out to anybody when they hear about Jax Leatherwood or see Jax Leatherwood is he is just freakishly big for a guy that plays quarterback. I remember Dan McGuire, who was Mark McGuire's brother. He had a taste in the NFL. He was 6'8". You ever dealt with a 6'8" quarterback before?
No, this is the biggest player I've ever coached, and he's 255 pounds. And so this has been a really interesting process. He's very talented. He could throw the ball. We want to win from the pocket, but also we are encouraging him to be a dual threat guy. He's not going to be the quick and twitchy guy, but just in general, you should be hard to tackle, even in the pocket, not getting arm tackled and stuff like that. And so we're going to continue to work with him, creating plays with his legs. Even in spring ball, he was live for 3 scrimmages, and I think that was very helpful for him and the whole room.
And, Coach, he was a winning player at junior college at San Diego Mesa, led them to their first playoff appearance in program history. How big is it to bring in somebody who wins at that position?
I mean, it's everything. If you're a Division I quarterback, you should be on a winning team. I mean, high school or junior college, that's just how it works. But, it's still junior college. He's still young. He's 19 years old. And I think when you look at him, like most of my players, you think grown man because that's what he looks like. But he's still learning how to play the position. We have to do a really good job managing him well, not asking him to do too much too early, those type of things. But really, I didn't fall in love. I fell in love with what he could be. He's not there yet. He's talented, but there's a lot of space in between talent and skill. And so we have to, now we come in as coaches. Like we got to do everything we can to get him really skillful at the quarterback position, which, takes a while.
How about your offensive line, Coach? How do you feel going into camp about the ability to not only protect Jax, but also open up some holes in the running game?
Yeah, totally. I mean, that was, other than quarterback, that was my main priority. I really feel like Coach Orchard's done a really nice job in recruiting, and we're the biggest and strongest we've been for a while. And so we have multiple 325ers, multiple 400-pound benchers, but a lot of new bodies in there. But I do have confidence that we're going to have a good unit there. Really challenged everybody on offense to get back to running the ball. To be honest, it's been 2 years since we could just literally line up up and run the ball like I'm used to. And so there's lots of reasons for that, but I'm tired of excuses. Like, at the end of the day, we're going to be a lot harder to beat if we're multiple. We could beat you with the pass and the run, and we couldn't for the last 2 years. So we have to get back to that. And our running back room, I think, is as talented a room as I've had. We've had great running backs, but we've never had 2 or 3 like we do now, which will need that depth. And I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them have great years this year.
And the guy who really burst onto the scene last year was Peyton Brown, and then he ended up battling injuries. Is he healthy? And what have you seen from Peyton Brown from his freshman year heading into camp as a sophomore?
Yeah, he's bigger, faster, stronger, healthy. I think he would have been the best back in the league last year if he played the whole season. Brandon Epton, same way, only ended up playing 4 or 5 games. They're really different. One's a huge back, and one's more of the speed guy, great hands, those type of things. But they're 2 really impactful players. Like, they're going to be able to impact a game, and so just they haven't had the opportunity to do that because of their injuries as much as you would think.
Hey, Coach, Mike Rednick, also on that side of the ball. I know you got a new offensive coordinator. How is he assimilating himself here to Southeast Missouri?
Yeah, it's been, I think this is one of my better staffs I've had. We just kind of hit it with the chemistry piece. We're very talented. They all seem to embody what our program's about. Coach Holt is a proven coordinator. He's a proven winner. He was a captain on Appy State when they beat Michigan. Like, he's just got a lot of great things going for him. But still, when you're dealing with a new coordinator, 9 new starters on offense, all these things, it is going to be a little bit that defensively we may have to ride that a little bit early on in the season. We'll see what that'll look like. But when you watch us play, I don't think you're going to see that much difference. Thematically, very, very similar. We recruited to that type of offense, and so that's who he is. And so it should be very similar.
Well, and you've got Cam Pedro coming back at wide receiver, Coach. Talk about how much of a plus it is to have a veteran guy that was productive for you last year. Not a big guy, but an effective wide receiver, and you did have some turnover at that position. Yeah, we did. Lost 2 wideouts that led us in receiving, but Cam Pedro is a great player. I think one thing that I'm really thankful for is his leadership, because we've just graduated so many that you worry about leadership, and he's as good a leader as we've had. He's maybe a little quiet, but he's very relational. He meets with a lot of guys. He gets it. But I know whoever our quarterback's Jack's is going to feel comfortable back there having that slot that can make those tough catches down the middle of the field. So do you have a guy going into the season that you feel is a deep threat, a guy that potentially can take the top off of defense? What names will Red Hawk fans get to know? Yeah, I mean, obviously Cam Pedro is that guy. And then one that concerned was more of the bigger wideouts. We lost all of our taller guys, and so whoever that is will be a little different. We got 2 newcomers in Calvin Gilbert and Latrell Neville, both transfers, but one's 6'4", one's 6'2", and so they'll look very familiar with past quarterbacks we've had in the past. And Cam Robinson was a productive player for Central Arkansas. He's also vying for a starting role at returner. And so I feel really good about the depth in the receiver room, even though they're unproven.
on the outside. Inside, they've made a lot of plays in the spring and this summer.
So, linebacker McCoy Casey, coach, was just named a preseason All-American. Nassim Cairo, he's going to be another guy anchoring the defense. Are those the two leaders on that side of the ball?
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you look at our two strongest positions on a football field, it would be the running backs and D-line. You know how I feel about the line of scrimmage. Like, if you can win the line of scrimmage and you've recruited well, you're going to have a great season. And so defensive line, outside linebacker, DNs, they return a lot of guys. And so we're going to need to rely on them early on to be able to stop the run and provide that pressure our secondary needs on the quarterback.
Justice Johnson, a veteran in that defensive secondary, coach. How about some of the names that will join Justice Johnson, and how much of an impact can he have?
Well, I mean, he had his best year as a junior, transferred from Murray State, and really embraced the development. And so I think we're looking forward to him having a great year. I think he's a guy that could play in the NFL if he can fix some holes in his game. He's that talented. And really in the secondary, this may be the most talented I've had. Now, they haven't put it together yet, and we still got to develop them. But there is a lot of talent there. Two guys that Trell Riley was a kid that was hurt all last year, so never played. Adrian Patterson only played 2 games. But those two guys are extremely talented, looking forward to being a full-time starter. A guy that transferred in that just got here in the spring is named David Jones, who had a pick in the spring game. He's a dynamic returner also. And so, I feel really good about our secondary.
Coach Tom Batukowicz, our guest this morning on the Sports Huddle. You've got to replace your punter and your kicker, and special teams have always been a plus since you became head coach. I don't know if this guy is the starting punter or not, but we talk about the size of Jax Leatherwood at 6'8". Ryan Kingston, a punter transfer from Eastern Michigan, is listed at 6'6".
Yeah, and a left-footed punter, and so he's going to be a challenge. He's had a really good off season. He's the starter, and I feel really good about that. We also graduated a long snapper, so our special teams has been in my sights. I think early on this season we did well, but once the injuries piled up, we were really average on special teams towards the end of the season, and that's not acceptable. So we really worked hard. We recruited well. We got 2 very talented kickers that have put some good film out there. We'll just see what it looks like through fall camp, and then just some dynamic returners. But I think you should look for our special teams to be exceptional this year. I think our roster's as good as it's been as far as like 200-pound plus guys that may not be a starter in some other units, but they're strong, fast, and physical. That can hopefully impact the game on a special team standpoint.
And I know Brandon Epton can help you in the return game. Is that the plan? Will Epton be a return guy?
I don't think so. I think we have good enough depth that we can give some opportunity some other guys and just try to take some hits off of him. He will be, we're going to get the ball in his hands as much as possible, and so we just kind of want to limit those contacts in the return game.
So you had a great All-American running back named Marquez Terry, and he was an excellent return man, but he got hurt in a game at Eastern Kentucky. Did that change your philosophy at all about having a marquee guy, running back, to be out there to take additional hits with the injury to Terry a few years back?
Yeah, absolutely. Ultimately, there's no better friend to a coach than depth. So we need more Marquez Terrys, right? That's the point. And so, not just one guy's making all the plays, because that's a fragile place to be in. And I think that's what we've done. we have, 3 or 4 guys that can really impact the game with the ball in the hand and the return game. And so now, you don't feel that stress. Back when we had Quez, we didn't have a lot of great players. We had some, of course, but, now I feel like we have a lot more depth in that. And so hopefully we can, just stay out of those injury bugs like we had last year.
So SEMO hasn't played Arkansas State since 2018. They don't play them a whole lot. That is your money game this year. You are traveling to Jonesboro August 30th for the season opener. I know you and your coaches have been watching plenty of film on Arkansas State. When do you guys start talking about the Red Wolves to your squad?
Well, that'll be 2 weeks out. As coaches, we've worked on it, but, one of the most important things the team understands is it's not about them, it's about us. And so when you turn your focus to opponent, all of a sudden you get blind spots on your roster or on film that you miss. And so it is a huge game. Like, I really like playing this game. It's great for our fans. I think it's great for our communities, those type of things. But we just got to make sure that, at the end of the day, the best chance to beat them is to play well. And the only way to play well is to focus on the things you can't control, which is your preparation. So that'll be my message.
What do you think of the 12-game schedule?
I'm a fan of 12 games. People, practice to play. I coach to playing games. People love watching them. So 12 games good. Good for college football in my mind. And so we're trying to sign another game for next year. But like this year, we were able to get 6-6. That won't be the case every year because of when we play a money game, it throws it off. But hopefully every other year we have 6 home games, which I know our fans will appreciate.
And you get the Salukis at home. The war for the wheel is at Houck. Yeah,
no doubt. That is a signature game and has grown into being so much, and to be able to host that is awesome, and just can't wait for this whole thing to get kicked off.
I mean, North Dakota State may be as good as any FCS team in the nation year in and year out. They are, with all of the national championships. You go there week 3. You've had this game set for quite a while, and you wanted to play this game because of exposing your players to that kind of atmosphere. Is that right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, at the end of the day, this is all about experiences. And to be able to play in that venue against a team like that, you'll never forget it. From the leader of SEMO football, I need to know where we're at. I need to know, what's it going to take to catch them, and the leaders on our campus and in our community that all want us to have that type of brand need to understand where we're at and what it is we need to close the gaps in on. And so really excited about that game. Hopefully our line of scrimmage has been built well enough that we can hold up. If we don't hold up in the line of scrimmage, they're going to gore us to death. It'll be a bloody, slow death. But hopefully we've gotten, recruited and developed strength and size and all that that's going to help us, at least go neutral. I think if we're neutral in that game in the line of scrimmage, I think we have as good a skill as they'll have.
All right. How about your schedule, Coach? How many team practices are you going to have leading up to Arkansas State? How does camp look?
Yeah, we got 28 practices. We start Wednesday and kind of get on a weekly schedule where, we'll practice through the week and then have a scrimmage on the weekend. We are moving to a morning practice team, even in the fall. And so we're trying to understand how to be a great morning team, challenge my guys to not hit the snooze button, to make your bed when you get up. But the day really starts the night before, being able to hydrate, eat, and go to bed, so that you're ready for the opportunities in the morning. But it's just an exciting time, a lot of energy around what's going on in the locker room, because I think the players sense that even though no one's talking about us, this does seem to be a talented group that has some pretty good connections. So it'll be interesting if we can't turn it into something.
Are you as excited in year 12 as you were to get your first head coaching job year 1?
Yeah, and it's kind of an odd feeling to me, because you would think I'd be not excited because of all the people we've had to replace, all the stuff that's going on with NIL and all these other things. But I've discovered this about myself, that I need a dragon to fight. Like, I'm better when I'm trying to solve problems, when I'm not comfortable, when things are tough. And so building a roster and managing egos and monies and all these things has been a challenge, but it's been exciting. And I think I really like this team. They seem to be really coachable. And so that's probably gotten me more excited too. So it's an interesting feeling to be this excited, but I also feel like I just kind of locked in on my why I do this. That it's pretty fun to have an impact in young people, and so hopefully I can continue to do this for a while. I'm sure it won't be long. I won't be very effective, but until then, I just need to remind myself just how fortunate and blessed I am to be in the position I am in.
32 days, 8 hours, 38 minutes until kickoff at Arkansas State. Coach, we can't wait. Best of luck in camp. We'll talk to you when we do our first coaches show, and I know this is a busy time of year for you. Thank you so much for squeezing in some time for us.
Absolutely.
All right.
See you, Coach.
All right, that is Coach Tom Matukowicz.
It's hard to believe 12 years. I mean, I know we kind of mentioned that a couple shows ago, but man, time flies. And did you see the John Gruden video yesterday by chance?
Yeah, somebody sent it to me.
Okay, I mean, great, obviously, publicity for the SEMO Redhawks, and I loved, the love he gave Coach Duke. He's like, Coach Duke, put the program on the map. I mean,
he did,
and he has. Yeah, he has. He did, and he has. So,
well, I remember his first few years, man. He's just like, back then, the standard in the OVC was Jacksonville State, and they just blew SEMO off the line of scrimmage. And the coach was like, until we can start to get dudes,
right,
like they've got dudes on the line of scrimmage, they're going to run over us every time. They just are.
Yeah.
And then right there toward the end, when Jacksonville State was, getting ready to hop conferences, guess what? SEMO pushed them around, went there, snapped their huge home winning streak, and SEMO passed them on the depth chart there as far as the OVC goes. So he saw and identified pretty quickly what they had to do. Took a few years, but here we are. It's 11 seasons in the book. It's 3 OVC titles. It's 4 playoff appearances. The playoff win over Stony Brook. It's 9 nationally ranked programs in the Brickyard. He's got it rolling.
Yeah, he does. And it's nice. People, people look forward to football season starting here at SEMO. And, several years ago, maybe wasn't always that case. But he's got to
just look at the tailgating crowd in front of Houck Stadium.
I know.
Last year, and just I think back to my first year in Cape, 97. John Mumford was the coach, and we did this little radio station tailgate at Houck Fieldhouse, where the local convenience store let us have some hot dogs.
Yeah.
I think Colfeld may have given us some beverages, and that was it. We were encouraging people to come out. I mean, nobody was there. I mean, there would be a few people that would show up for a tailgate, and it has turned into this. And a lot of that is, credit SEMO's marketing team and all of that, but a lot of that is Coach Tom Matukowicz.
It is. I mean, there's in that that works together, obviously. You've got a product to market, so and you can't get the word out without a good marketing team with creative ideas and being willing to do some things differently. So, but Coach Duke,
what's the BP,
put it on the map.
What's the BP store? It's not called BP. What
is it? Southern now? Or
okay,
maybe.
Well, they were the ones
exactly.
that gave us the hot dogs.
Okay.
back in the day.
Okay,
and I just remember. All right, we got hot dogs. we got beverages, and now
it's changed a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking to a guy the other day at the Veteran Services office. Okay, and he was like, "Man, I'm fired up for football season," and he was talking about how he and his wife will not miss a River Radio tent tailgate prior to a Red Hawk game.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I think our River Radio tailgate is getting more popular.
Yeah, it absolutely.
You
is.
were so involved in that. I mean, you would know.
Well, yeah, it's you got you see a lot of mainstays. You've got which I think is kind of neat about the program itself. I mean, each year I talk to someone who says, "Man, I'm going to buy season tickets this year," and they maybe hadn't been to any games, then except for one or two, and they just, they come, they see the atmosphere, they realize it's a great place to bring the family and bring the kids, and then they become kind of a mainstay in the tailgate area as well. So, it grows and grows each year, and looking forward to doing it again.
And if Weezer didn't have to be up, on the radio broadcast, you'd have to kick him out. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah. That is very true. He's a mainstay. That is for sure.
He will not miss a River Radio tailgate prior to a Red Hawk game. All right.
You drop in there once in a while.
Yeah.
And now that because you'll be back to how?
3 years we were broadcasting remotely from what would you say? Three blocks away?
Yeah, Rose Theater.
You think that's 3 blocks?
Maybe more than that.
Yeah, maybe more than that.
Maybe more than that.
And so we're doing it off screens. The only saving grace was, since our TV crew was there, our ESPN Plus crew, we were getting live crowd noise. So that helps.
Yeah.
But still.
Bring the realistic feel.
But now that we are back in the temp press box, it worked fine in the playoff game, and I think we called the Western Illinois game from there too.
Yeah,
so we got a couple of games under our belt. Had to bring in the.
I don't want to hear any griping about it being too hot or too cold or too sunny or I can't see.
Mike Young, my buddy from Patrick Furniture, hooked us up. I brought his little propane heater. We had that in there. I had 8 layers on. Don Sean spotting for me and Rick. And number 52 made that tackle way across the way.
You got to be in the elements. It makes it so much more fun, right?
Totally, absolutely. All right, I know you probably heard the somber news about one of the all-time great Chicago Cubs.
I did,
and even though you're a Cardinal fan.
No, I loved Ryne Sandberg.
How do you not like Ryne Sandberg?
Oh, man.
I know I look at it differently because I grew up rooting for the Cubs, but, man, I mean, he was a class act. He wasn't a smack talker. I mean,
So my mom loves baseball. She loves Cardinal baseball.
Right. And
she always loved Ryne Sandberg because she never saw him spit on the ground. She's like, He was
not a spitter.
He was not a spitter. They're out there, She's like, Ryne Sandberg is a kind of to your what you said, classy baseball player. So I always remember that whenever I think of him. Great ball player, though, obviously.
Tim Kurkjian from ESPN recapping the career of the Hall of Fame second baseman of the Cubs, Ryne Sandberg, who lost his battle with metastatic prostate cancer at age 65.
I'm a baseball player. I've always been a baseball player. I'm still a baseball player. That's who I am.
There was a certain elegance beyond his greatness and toughness to Cubs Hall of Fame second baseman Ryne Sandberg. There was a regal quality to the way he swung the bat the way he caught a ground ball, the way he ran the bases, and the way he always carried himself.
Make a great play. Act like you've done it before. Hit a home run. Put your head down, drop the bat, run around the bases. Because the name on the front is a lot more important than the name on the back.
He is one of the greatest defensive second basemen of all time. He won 9 Gold Gloves, second only to Roberto Alomar's 10. Sandberg once held the record for the most consecutive games without an error, 123, by a second baseman, covering 584 chances. No second baseman was better at making the turn on the double play than vanishing before a base runner could crush him. Sandberg became an offensive force in 1984 when Cubs manager Jim Fry convinced him to pull the ball as often as possible.
That was definitely a turning point for me, and I just feel like I've learned what he was talking about. Things have come together the last few years as far as swinging for power.
Sandberg won the National League MVP that year, which included what is known as the Sandberg game.
Into left center field and deep. This is a tie ball game.
On June 23rd against the Cardinals, he went 5 for 6 and hit game-tying homers in the 9th and 10th inning against brilliant closer Bruce Sutter.
Look out! Do you believe it? It's gone!
Leading the Cubs to a 12-11 victory. In 1990, Sandberg led the NL in homers with 40. He would finish with 282. He also stole 344 bases. He and Hall of Famers Joe Morgan and Craig Biggio are the only primary second basemen in baseball history with 250 homers and 300 steals. Indeed, Sandberg could play the piano and move it too. The greatest number 23 in sports history is, of course, Michael Jordan. One of the greatest number 23s in baseball history is another Chicago icon, one of the greatest players in Cubs history, Ryne Sandberg.
Nobody better than Tim Kirchin to do something like that.
Yeah, no. I loved watching him growing up. I mean, that was right in the thick of games, obviously, on WGN that you would hear or you could see.
In the afternoons,
anywhere,
that was about all you had. If you're a baseball fan, you could tune in the Cub games.
Yeah. Days like today where it's scorching hot outside, you can watch a Cub game as opposed to maybe running around the neighborhood. But he was a good one.
All right. So the Cardinals win last night. They've got, and now this, I don't know how long it's going to take for Sandy Alcantara to regain his Cy Young form. Will he ever? You think so. I mean, guys come back from Tommy John, and the last thing that comes back is control.
Control.
And he had great control when he won the Cy Young. He's got, I hate to mention this, his earned run average is 6.66. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that
Right
number.
now it is.
Yes.
Well, he would fit in the Cardinals starting rotation then.
Wow. Bada bing. So it's Alcantara versus Sonny Gray tonight. So at least on paper, these are the aces of these two teams' staffs. Regardless of what the ERA says for Alcantara, he's got a Cy Young on his mantle.
Well, and regardless of how bad, let's just say it, Sonny Gray has performed the last few starts. I think he's due a big start tonight because, I mean, he's been terrible.
Back to back.
I mean, as your ace, was he making $25 million this year? I mean, you got to be better than what he's been. So, hoping for the trend to continue. Good things come in threes, right? We had Michaelis, Palante, and now need to get Sonny Gray back on track.
So Sonny Gray, in his last two outings, has allowed 11 hits in both starts. And he actually got the win in his last start against the Padres because the offense showed up. So, yeah.
But he's not been good.
No.
He's not been good.
His ERA was 3.50
I bet
Heading into his last 2 starts, it's now 433.
I was going to say 4.5. So 433.
It's 14 earned runs in the last 2 starts.
I mean, do you think of that ERA when you think of an ace of your staff?
No.
Or 11 hits in back-to-back games? I mean,
I hope it was just a speed bump.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he didn't like where he was in the rotation. Maybe he didn't get his day to find his inner peace or whatever before he went out and pitched.
He is 35. Keep in mind,
He
pitchers
is.
start to trend at a certain age. Now, he could go out there and dominate today. We shall see. We certainly know Sandy Alcantara is capable.
Yeah.
Whether or not he gets the job done or not, we'll find out. Cape Catfish are on the road. They're getting ready for a playoff game. What is that, Friday?
It is Friday.
Yeah. I'll be flying down to Orlando, Florida, while the Catfish are getting their playoff home groove on. So they've got one more home game, and I think that's tomorrow night to end the
regular season.
Regular season as far as home games go.
But the playoff game is at home.
Yeah.
On Friday. So, yeah, need a big crowd here to. And as we were just talking about, if the weather has been kind of keeping you away from the park, it's been pretty nice Friday evening.
So you've already checked it out.
Yeah. I was looking ahead.
It's a very good thing.
Just to see what it might be like. So.
All right. Well, looking ahead, we'll have a lot to get into tomorrow, and we want to say thank you to Coach Took for his time. I mean, this is busy, man. Today's check-in day, right? And Brady Barkey is talking to the team. The president,
new president,
Dr. Hodson, is talking to the team. They're all checking in, and he agreed to come on with us. 80 degrees on Friday
for the high.
Wow,
for the high. So game time at the pond will be pretty nice.
Is that what we call it, the pond?
Nah, that's what I'm calling it.
Okay, I like it.
I'm sure someone else, Rusty's probably called it that or something like that. So
I refer to it
the pond
as the cap. Sometimes the Redhawks win, and that's a wrap at the cap.
Yeah,
that
works.
Hey.
That works too.
All right, so we're back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Will be too late if you tune in then. We'll be
Eastern time.
We'll be shutting it down.
10 a.m. Eastern time.
We're at 10 a.m. Eastern. It's 9 a.m. tomorrow, and we'll talk to you then.
Okay.
Hello
good.
to the radiant and ravishing Dawn Shawn. She was on the phone with the AC people. Looks like we're going to get a new unit. Thanks to her for her legwork on that. Stay tuned, Clinton and friends.